what we have here is Saint Lithium, San Lithio. This was created by Tyler, aka Tornado. This art installation is off the beaten path a bit. It's on the northeastern edge of town, known locally as along the road to Mars. Further down that way, there's nothing there right now, is, I don't know what you would call it, some organization. They call themselves Mars College. They're a bunch of off-grid tech geeks, which kind of I am, but I'm not a part of their clan or organization. But anyways, yeah, Saint Lithium. Let's take a closer look. You've all heard the news, so I don't need to explain why a lot of the more recent art makes references to lithium. But yeah, pretty cool. You're in here, we got like a, it says San Lithio. Pretty cool. Right there is a lid, toilet lid. And then we got an old rotary phone. If you'd like to make a call, pretty damn cool. Obviously made from an old boat and various other findings. That's the Highway 111 that way. The Chocolate Mountains that way. And again, they call them the Chocolate Mountains, but they just taste like dirt. Don't taste like chocolate. And we go that way, the Salton Sea. And the town of Bombay Beach that way. Salton Civilization Ecological Site. This place is of very important historical significance here in Bombay Beach. Some archaeologists recently discovered some remains of ancient civilization. Now, that's all a load of shit. But this is a very awesome art installation. I'm going to take you on a tour of this. They did, I forgot who the artist that created this, but they did a fucking awesome job. So let's take a closer look. Like I said, I love the professionalism, attention to detail, like pretty official looking sign. So is this one. Archaeological site in this area. Protected by the Archaeological Resource Protection Act, blah, blah, blah. Protect your heritage. This is located across from the community center between Avenue C and Avenue D. Take a closer look. There was more detail here. That bent frame, those were like some temporary shade canopies, and they had it set up, but we just get such severe wind and shit out here. The wind and the sun. Like, look at that. The UV rays have kind of done away with that, but a lot of this still remains and looks awesome. I mean, even got like some fake cameras and work lights up there. Some of this is lit up at night. We go down in here. When I find out after doing this video who created this, I'll mention it in the video description. But yeah, pretty cool, isn't it? These are the skeletal remains of the ancient Salton civilization, right here in Bombay Beach. What the heck is up with this big hole in the beach that's filled with some rusty reddish colored water? Well, there's a story behind that. About a year ago, one of the artists was going to work on some sort of art installation, and they rented an excavator. It got stuck in the quicksand here, and they had to get that thing out so they could take it back, or pay a lot of money. So they rented another excavator, and that one got stuck trying to rescue the first one. So then then they decided, well, they're going to rent a bigger excavator and get both the stuck excavators out. Well, the big excavator got stuck. It was a huge mess. As I recall, the excavators pretty much were considered, all three of them, a total loss. I'm pretty sure it was well into the six figures anyways. They were eventually excavated, but not before the very salty water destroyed most of the engine and other components. So let's take a closer look at this. Somebody even decided to poke some fun and create it like a fake historical marker for it. But let's take a closer look. And here we go. This is on the beach. This is on the western end. If you go down to the beach, you go up over the ramp, over the levee or the dike, you would go onto the beach and go to your right. And here it is. It's awesome. Somebody created this historic plaque for it. Pause there for a moment if you want to pause the video and read it. Pretty fucking hilarious. And yeah, I don't think I'll go swimming in that water. I am going to go swimming again in the Salton Sea. I got a job to do down in Calexico, a commercial photo shoot. I'll be back for sunset. I mean, if somebody paid me 10 grand, I will wade in this, but short of that, no. Let's go a little closer to this brownish reddish goo. It looks a little more reddish around sunset when the sun's at a lower angle. Let's do a little bit wider angle, but yeah, this gaping hole in the beach. So this concludes today's episode. I might do another episode at the usual time after sunset, but just figured show you around a few more things earlier in the day. Speaking of sunset, if the water's calm, I'm going to take my boat out in these alligator-infested waters too. You know what to not? There's alligators in there, crocodiles, killer whales. No, they ain't jack shit in this water anymore. I mean, some people are saying they've seen tilapia, but only by the river mouths. And to me, that doesn't count. I haven't seen any tilapia or any life other than bugs and algae in about 5 or 6 years. In fact, you don't even see the dead bones anymore. I mean, you might see some tiny fragments of them and barnacle shells, but I mean, when I first started coming here in 2008, the beaches were just covered with fish bones, and you would still see tilapia swimming around, both just standing on the shore and going out in my boat. If you would go to like Salton Sea Beach, there were things like 2 or 3 feet deep of crushed fish bones and barnacle shells. It was a trip. You just don't really see much of that anymore. Like I said, I don't think there's really any fish dead or alive in the Salton Sea as a whole. And the birds, unfortunately, birds have figured that out as well. I mean, until a few years ago, you would still see the ducks and pelicans, but you don't really see them down here, which is kind of sad. The good news is the Sonny Bono Wildlife Refuge, that place is for the birds, literally. And that's down south of here. And they've created some artificial wetlands and all that, stocked them with fish. So government's done some good things for the wildlife, even though it's kind of devoid of most animal life out here. Anyways, remember to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Kevin LiT, KRAP, signing off from Bombay Beach.